Hi, I'm Carrie Blazer. Thank you for clicking on my clip. I have a free ebook linked below, my 6 Divine Feminine Self-Love Strategies. They will help you transform your emotional wounds into personal wisdom. And I take a multidisciplinary approach. And there's something there for everyone because what I learned is when something's true, it's true in multiple places. Please like and subscribe and help me distribute my ebook to everyone for free by exploding my channel. Take care. Enjoy the clip. So number 3, learn to surf the waves of life. Life is like jumping on a trampoline. The deeper you go, the higher you fly, all based on the laws of physics. And we're going to get into a physics experiment here in a second. The depth of the wound determines the height of the wisdom. Like for me, I visited Mount Everest and I had to learn that if I want Mount Everest-sized wisdom, then I had to take on Mount Everest-sized wounds. Our souls plan our lives based on our wounds for self-improvement opportunities. So here's a physics experiment that shows why you have to surrender to your emotions and then come out of it, and why that propels you through life.
So I want to go back and revisit the railroad track. Now, I did a previous video on this, and I had so many questions and comments, I thought it would be worthwhile to go back and do a few more demonstrations on it and take a closer look. Now, this is a classic physics problem where we have two tracks that start at the same position and end at the same position, but their path from one side to the other is completely different. Now, these balls are able to roll down the tracks, so the question is, if I were to release them simultaneously, which track would get the ball to the opposite side the quickest? Well, let's give it a try. So the shortest distance between 2 points is not necessarily the fastest. What's going on here? Well, we're giving both balls potential energy by lifting them up to a certain position. When I release them, only a small amount of its potential energy is changed into kinetic on this track, so its speed across the track isn't very high. However, on the low road track, I started out at that high position. It drops down, changes that potential energy into kinetic, but then it drops an additional distance, so more potential energy is changed to kinetic, so it's going to cover this distance at a higher speed.
So how can we apply this physics experiment to healing from childhood trauma? Before I healed, I was like the track in the back. I did not know how to fully surrender to my fear, guilt, and shame, and then use that momentum gain from the downhill to climb my next hill. I just went down and I just stayed stuck. So I just was on this plane of fear, guilt, and shame, which is why I had 35 years of debilitating lower back pain. But after my mom passed away on my 45th birthday, and my intuition told me, okay, it's time to heal, I started seeing shamans and doing research and learning how to process my emotions. And I slowly but surely started living life on that front track, going into my emotions and coming out. And of course, I started on the small wave. I had to learn how to apologize. You don't start surfing on the 70-foot wave off of Portugal, just like you don't start climbing mountains at Mount Everest. You start on the hill by your house. You start on the wave, the 1-foot wave on a longboard. But what you'll notice is that the more you learn how to go into your pain and come out of it, then you'll start going into deeper pain like I did. 4 years after I started healing, then I attempted suicide. Why? And I'm not advocating for a suicide attempt. Please don't hear me wrong. This is what happened in my life. But based on how my soul plans my life, I had to be able to get into deeper, denser, darker emotions. And that took me 4 years of learning to surf the waves of life before I was capable of going in that deeply into myself and then coming out that profoundly of myself. And I always knew coming back Carrie 2.0. And I told my older daughter, I said, look, I'm bringing healing to the whole family and we're not leaving your dad behind. The universe is a mirror. We've gone over this quite a bit, but I'll just repeat it one more time, is that when something is born of the quantum field, The universal truth, we'll see it in multiple places. Like when something's true, it's true in multiple places. So wisdom says, the universe is a mirror showing me myself in every moment as a constant feedback loop for self-improvement. Knowledge says, we attract what we are through energetic resonance, meaning a vibrational match. This is how self-awareness forms. I mean, this is pretty convenient from a perspective of, oh, I need feedback on how I can improve. But when you have a traumatic childhood, there's probably a lot of feedback about how you can improve, and just take it one day at a time. If this resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more conversations about psychology, healing, and the divine feminine, and pick up a free copy of my ebook below. Take care.